Welcome to another video from Cardboard East. My name's Jay. I play board games from Asia and share what I find with all of you. Today we're going to talk about rubber, paper, scissors, one of the latest games from Taiwan, coming to a GenCon near you. Special note, this is a prototype, so not everything here is in final form. So just keep that in mind as we go through the setup and how to play. Find these tokens. These are the advanced tokens for the advanced game. Put them back in the box. Get the board, put it in the middle of the table. One person is orange, one person is blue. These are your tokens. Mix them up and set them up on the board. Rubber, paper, scissors takes place over 9 rounds, and in each round, players will fight over control for one of these 9 spaces in this particular order. Step 1, play rock, paper, scissors. Step 2, the winner decides to take one of 3 actions. Action 1, put their hex in the square. Action 2, take the face up token. Action 3, take the face down token. And then after the winner has gone, the loser of rock, paper, scissors takes one of the 2 remaining actions. Wash, rinse, repeat for 9 rounds. For each set of hexagons that you can make 3 in a row, you get 3 points. For each type of stationary token, glue, tape, or ruler, you will get 1, 2, 5, 6, or 7 points. The +2 means you get +2 points, and the crown is worth 0 points, but if you get all 3, you win immediately. If you forget how to score, the bottom of the board has a nice friendly reminder, and whoever has the most points wins. Advanced play. Take those tokens out of the box. These are the goggles. Each player takes 2 of the goggles. At any point during the game, one player can use one of the goggles and look at one of the face down tokens. At the end of the game, all unused goggles are worth 1 victory point. Remove the +2 tokens and replace them with these new bonus tokens. These bonus tokens are worth 0 points, but if you collect the matching stationery, each token gives you that many more points. So 2 glue guns gives you 4 points instead of 2. And 3 glue guns gives you 8 points instead of 5. Components. I'm really impressed with the components here. Like, they didn't actually have to be that good, but they are. All these tokens are about 2mm thick, so they're nice, thick tokens. And these are nice, excellent wooden tokens. They didn't have to do that, and these are not stickers. These faces are actually printed onto the wooden token itself. So you get some pretty good tactile feel for your money. Board. Really thick, really nice, really good quality. I cannot complain about any of the components in this box because I think you definitely get your money's worth. Arts and UI. Well, the art is really good. I'm not a big fan of the combination of blue and orange. It just doesn't do anything for me. But everything is bright, colorful, and most importantly, very, very clear. I do really appreciate that at the bottom of the map board has a nice friendly reminder about how to score. Although the stationery, although it's labeled 1, 2, 5, I really think it could have been labeled 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, just to remind you that if you do get 4 or 5 tokens, that's how much they're worth, even though it very rarely happens. Another UI problem that I had was that the bonus tokens have the little slash on them, so it just unintuitively makes you think that it's either this gun or it's a +1. And I think if you just got rid of the slash, I think it would have been a little bit clearer. Rulebook is a nice little tiny 12-page rulebook, and yes, it's actually really, really good, really easy to read. We were up and playing this game in like 5 minutes. It's just super fast. And on top of that, it was really helpful and gave like little tips for strategy here and there. I was actually really impressed that the rulebook really early on mentions the 2014 study from Zhejiang University. If you don't know, it's basically a whole bunch of researchers get, I think, about like 360 students together to do a giant rock, paper, scissors tournament, and they tried to find a winning strategy for rock, paper, scissors. I know it's kind of crazy, but they found a strategy that works. Typically, you would think your success rate is 33%, but they found a strategy that raises it from 33 to 36%. So it's not just randomness, is what they're saying. Not to mention that this was really colorful, really easy to read, and lots of great examples. This is a quality rulebook. Replay value. Now, you're probably thinking that that's just too light, Jay. There's not much game here. Like, after you play it once or twice, you kind of see everything, right? But I'm gonna say that because of the level of bluffing in this game, because of the level of mind games and trying to get into your player's mindset and mind frame, this is a different style of game. So a good example of this is Hanamakoji, which is a very popular Taiwanese game. Like, once you play that, you've kind of seen the whole game. But a lot of the game comes from the individual player and what they bring to the table. And there are these layers to the gameplay that you may not really see. Like, you could definitely make bad decisions in this game. and you can find yourself not playing hexes in the game. It's really, really odd because you're playing tic-tac-toe and you're thinking, well, I have to play an X, I have to play an O. But no, sometimes the best strategy is not to do that. And sometimes there's not an X or an O on the board. And instead the tokens are worth more points. And it creates this really interesting layer to the game. And this leads us into strategy. Number one, I really like games that have multiple win conditions. And I really like games that have multiple paths to victory. And this has both. For this tiny little 10-minute game, it actually has both. You can go the set collection route and maybe you get like 12, 15 points just from set collection alone. You can go for the crown route and maybe you win the game immediately before the game even ends. Or you could just go for the tic-tac-toe route. If you get all 9 spaces, which I've never ever seen, you can get like 24 points. But you can definitely make good and bad decisions in this game. I've seen a game where one person had 3 tokens on the board and the other person had 6, and this person won. They actually won by a good amount of points just from the set collection alone. Now, I do think the advanced play is kind of interesting. I like the use of the goggles to kind of get rid of the cloudiness there because there's a lot of closed information in the game. But the little bonus tokens, I'm not a big fan of because they're kind of hard to control. Sometimes it falls in your favor and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes like you get a bonus token like right on round 1, so you have a really strong focus for the rest of the game. And if you're lucky, you can really rack up those points because those bonus tokens are really, really valuable. But it's hard for those to match and sync up because you only have 9 turns in the game. So I just like the nice clean like +2 token out there because it's just a lot easier. But I do love bluffing, I do love mind reading, and I really like how you really get into your opponent's mind space in this game. You kind of look at them and you have almost like this feeling of like the mind where you're slowly trying to mind meld with your opponent. And I really can't explain it. You really have to play the game to really experience it, but it's definitely a lot of fun. Current thoughts, this is a really fun little 10-minute filler. I think this is really good for game nights when you're just waiting for someone else to play, or maybe you're really early on, you're the first 2 at game night. I think it's also really good for board game cafes because board game cafes need a wide range of games, and sometimes it's just 2 people and they just want to play a quick game before their food arrives. This is also a really good game for a pub. I played this once at a bar and we were drinking and having cheers, and every time we lost like a rock, paper, scissors, we had to take a big swig, and it was a little messy, but I definitely had a lot of fun. I don't recommend this for travel, and I say that because a lot of small box games have a lot of small components and they kind of like gear themselves towards travel, but because of like all these tokens, like it's not really ideal for the travel environment. Definitely not on a plane. Now, I've played a lot of games, and I played games that have a tic-tac-toe element. I played games that have a rock, paper, scissors element, but I've never played a game that had both of them together and set collection on top of that. And this did it really, really well. And I think it's more than just a thought experiment. I think it's actually a really good, fun little filler that might be perfect for you. And that has been Rubber, Paper, Scissors, and I'll see you in the next video.